More on this historic presidential election. I'm joined by John Campbell. He's a former U.S. ambassador to Nigeria and has written extensively on the country. Ambassador, thanks for being on our program.
It's a pleasure to be with you.
So as we mentioned, this is the first time in Nigeria a sitting president has been defeated by the opposition. This is remarkable, isn't it?
This is remarkable, and it's highly positive for the development of democracy, not just in Nigeria, but also straight across Africa.
What can you tell us as far as the challenges ahead for Buhari? He has promised to fight corruption, he has promised to fight poverty, but Boko Haram is still a force to be reckoned with in this country.
Boko Haram is most emphatically a force to be reckoned with. It is far from having been defeated. Further, Boko Haram has religious and populist roots, which make it particularly difficult for a government to deal with. In the long term, essentially, reforms are necessary to sort of suck the oxygen out of Boko Haram. Problem with that is it takes time and it takes money. Nigeria's national income is directly dependent on oil. More than 70% of the government's revenue comes from oil. Revenue from oil has dropped to about half of what it was last year. So Buhari will have much less money to work with.
So that's not a good thing, is what you're saying, for his country.
It's going to be a challenge, no question about that.
Why do you think Goodluck Jonathan lost this election?
Basically, the two themes that Buhari sounded, corruption out of hand and must be fought, and that the security of ordinary Nigerians, not just from Boko Haram, but also from things like kidnapping, which is ubiquitous across the country, that too was out of control. These two themes very much resonated with a population that is increasingly impoverished, under stress from the decline in oil prices, and a general sense that the Jonathan government was not satisfactorily addressing the problems of the Nigerian people.
And Buhari is also a former military general. Do you think his expertise, his background, perhaps gives him the upper hand in cracking down on the militants?
I think we have to be very careful. He was a general, yes, more than 30 years ago. Yes, he probably still has some contacts with the military. But much of the upper reaches of the military was politicized by Jonathan and his immediate predecessors. So, in effect, one of the challenges Buhari is going to have is essentially rebuilding the military, also the police.
And what about overall Goodluck Jonathan? I don't know if you were surprised, but for African politics, it seems rare when someone concedes defeat with no issues in a very conciliatory fashion. Were you surprised about that?
I certainly was. I was surprised and I was delighted because this would indicate that Nigeria is developing a political maturity which is conducive to the development of democracy.
And in general, you know this country very well. Are you optimistic about the future of Buhari's leadership? Do you think this election proved to be a success in this country and its path to democracy?
The election was certainly a success. The election was certainly a plus for the development of democracy. But the development of democracy is an ongoing journey. It's a journey that finally never comes to an end. It would be a mistake to expect a new president of Nigeria to be able to solve the enormous problems that country faces within a single presidential term.
So do you think a country like the United States has a role to play in helping him?
Most definitely it does. The largest constraint on U.S. military assistance to Nigeria has been that up to now, the government has refused to investigate credible reports of human rights violations by the security services. Were that to change, were there to be meaningful investigations, then, in fact, more extensive cooperation with the United States would become possible.
All right, Ambassador John Campbell, we certainly appreciate your time, sir.
Thank you so much.